it's still Christmas. As you all know, I'm Rodney. Trish is around here somewhere. I don't know, I hear some bells.
Here I am on my trusty steed to save the day and to bring this marvelous episode to you. So, we sincerely hope that you're all having a beautiful holiday season, and that as you set your goals and intentions for the new year, that you choose into a higher vibrational space, and we're here to assist you with that.
So we want to thank everybody for supporting us throughout the year. This has been a year where it's been a challenge for all of us, and we're really grateful for those of you that have supported us in whatever way you have. We're still here. The shop is doing really well, and we get to work with more and more people all the time. There's so many new people coming in and finding out what a great place it is. And yeah, I'm putting a plug in there, but you know, that we're here for a reason. We're here to assist people on their journey. And so whatever your journey might be, find your way to the shop. You may find that we have something here to assist you, and even if it's just a kind word. So I'll let Trish talk for a minute.
Okay, this is going to take a little longer than a minute, just saying. All right, so we do our best to bring...
You only get 60 seconds.
I cannot do an elevator pitch on this, so you're just going to have to deal with it. Okay, so we like to do, you know, either some teaching or introducing you to people and whatnot. And today, what we've chose to do is to talk about clearing and cleaning, physically cleaning your crystals. Now, a lot of people, when they buy crystals, especially if you're new to it, and even some that aren't new to it, really don't know how to clean a crystal. So when you're using a crystal for work, people are using it to soothe your body, your mind, and your soul. And as you're doing that, you're clearing negative energy, you're balancing things out. So where do you think that energy goes? Well, it's going to go right smack dab into the crystal that you're using. So a crystal is going to evolve with you. Isn't that beautiful?
That's a great crystal.
It's for sale, just saying. All of the stuff on this table is for sale. So if it speaks to you, let me know. So these crystals oftentimes they'll travel very long distances to get to the destination before it will arrive in a shop or to a person. This particular one is an Arkansas quartz. So this one has come from Arkansas to Utah, and then in Utah, it was at a place where many people looked at it. It was for sale, and we brought it back. Now, when we bring our crystals back,
What are you talking about?
This is in Arkansas.
I know. Go on with your story. I'm surprised. I have no idea what you're talking about.
He usually doesn't, but we're good.
What do you mean we brought it back?
Well, from where we bought it. Where we purchased it, we brought it to our shop. Shh, just be quiet and listen. Maybe you'll learn something. Okay. So after we get our crystals here, we always give them usually like, if it's a quartz-based hard stone crystal, they get a bubble bath. If it's like selenite, tourmaline, kyanite, not so much a bubble bath. Usually, sometimes you can just give them maybe a quick rinse. Okay, most of these anyway, they don't really hold energy, and it may be just to get some dust or something off of them. Okay, so when these are used for healing, they're going to absorb that energy and redirect it out. So it's really important to clean any physical off of it, because when these are out for sale, many people will touch them. So we always clean them, so when they're out on our floor, they're going to go through another touching process, and we always go through and clear and clean them.
They're really not on the floor. They're on a display.
Well, we're having a technical day today. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so it is important to regularly clear and clean your crystals. So we're first going to talk about the hard stones or the quartz-based crystals. Now, in that family is all of your quartz, smoky quartz, your citrine. There's another beauty that's for sale. That's a smoky citrine. Your amethyst, ametrine, rose quartz. This is a rough piece, but still your rose quartz. So you're polished, and carnelian is an agate, so it's also a quartz based. So I'm going to talk for a minute about how you would physically clean these. Now there are several ways. So he's going to play with the crystal. He'll be shooting light beams out in a matter of seconds with that thing. So the first and easiest way to clear or clean them is just under running water. So you can take it to your faucet, you can hold it under the water, and we like to use a little bit of either a gentle hand soap, or Dawn is really good. If it's safe for the birds, it's safe for the crystals. And we know that they use Dawn for the birds when they've been caught in the oil, they use it for the animals. So Dawn is really good. Just a little bit, and you basically want to massage your crystal, and you want to let it feel good, because I've had them giggle and laugh, and yes, they do.
Oh, big time.
They enjoy a bubble bath. So you give them a nice little bubble bath. You want to be sure that they're either immersed or that water is constantly running on them. You want to be sure to rinse all the soap off. And then you can just kind of have like a nice microfiber or a soft towel to just kind of pat them dry. You'll notice a big difference, because they're really going to explode and sparkle. They're going to be amazing.
It's like they're smiling at you. They show you that they truly enjoy it. Also, one detail, please be sure that the water is just a little bit above cold, not too warm.
Lukewarm, tepid.
If you get it hot, you run risk of damaging your crystals.
Same with the icy cold.
Same with this, if it's too cold and you got a warm crystal.
If you don't want to hold your hands in it because it's too cold or too hot, the crystal doesn't want to be there. Perfect. So all right, so with running water, and you want to be sure to rinse it. Now another method, and that you want to be sure it takes approximately a minute with each crystal. Let's see, you don't want to use that, again, for anything that's soft or brittle or fibrous or things like that. Another method is, the reason I have this is salt water. So you would take some kind of a bin, preferably not one with a crack that the water would leak. You can use sea salt, you can use table salt. I prefer sea salt or the pink Himalayan salt. You put in some of that, and then you're going to put your lukewarm water, because if you have more than one crystal, you can just put them in there, and you can let them soak. Generally, you'll let them soak anywhere from 3 to 4 hours to overnight. So that's
making sure that they're quartz based, because if you were to leave this in salt water overnight, it won't be there the next day.
You'll just have murky water.
Selenite does not like salt water.
Now,
don't even dip it in salt water. If you're going to do anything with selenite, you can rinse it, have a towel ready, and just to be doubly sure that there's no residual water left on selenite, get out your favorite hair dryer and dry the darn thing.
All right, so don't take me off track. This is my gig. You're my assistant. I'll ask for your advice.
Oh, I'll just step back then.
Good. Okay, so another thing, if you live near the ocean, you can go to the ocean, get a jug of salt water, and you can put ocean water in a bin, because they love ocean water. That's very clearing, and also a stream. I wouldn't recommend going to the mountains, putting them in a stream in the winter. You can, but don't be surprised if your crystal kind of goes, oh, I have new fractures. It's kind of like, if you're doing the Wim Hof method and jumping in an ice bath. Yeah, it does that to the crystal too. Okay, so there's a couple other options. Also, sometimes people will take a bowl full of just the salt and they'll put the crystal in it. And again, you can do that for a couple hours, up to 24. All right, the salt water, you can actually leave them up to 48 hours. If it's just a new crystal you've just purchased, or one you've been working with and you're just doing your kind of weekly or daily cleansing, you wouldn't have to soak it more than, a few hours, or maybe 24.
I just like the bubble bath method. It's fast, easy, and it's fun, especially when you tune into them and you hear them giggle.
Okay, another one that I didn't know about, that I just learned about, is actually brown rice. It says that this method can be used to draw out negativity in a safe and contained setting. It's especially beneficial for protective stones such as black tourmaline. So your tourmaline, kyanite, selenite, that would be really good to do in the brown rice. So I didn't know about that. So you fill a bowl with dry brown rice, don't cook it. You bury your stone in it, and then afterward you get rid of the rice immediately because the rice is said to have absorbed the very energy that you're wanting to eradicate from it. So that's a good deal. Okay, natural light. So after you've given your, I want to go to this piece of amethyst. Something like this with the matrix on it like that, I would not submerge. You can just use a spray bottle with some water, or you can just run your water over it. You don't even have to use soap. The other thing you can do, I didn't bring it, is like a soft paintbrush and just dust it as it starts collecting dust. So that's proper care on your amethyst
better
geode.
than the paintbrush.
They really do.
It'll sparkle more for you.
And if you have a really huge one, you can put towels around it. Just use a spray bottle and your soft paintbrush, and that'll clean it. And the twinkle and sparkle that comes out of them is just amazing. Okay, now after you have them cleaned, you're going to want to charge them. So a good way to charge them is natural light. So sunlight. Now, you don't want to put amethyst or citrine in direct sunlight. A little bit of morning light is good, but not that hot afternoon. They will fade. Also, celestite. Celestite is not a quartz-based crystal. A lot of people think it is. I did, but it is not. So you don't want to soak celestite in salt water. Just run it under the water quickly, kind of like you would with this, and just kind of pat it dry or let it just drip dry. The matrix on the back of that has been known to, in water, really begin to dissolve and fall apart, and then you may have lots of celestite.
I'd have that hair dryer ready if I was doing celestite.
Yeah.
I would dry the matrix as quickly as possible.
So it's important to charge your crystals. Now that you have them all cleared and clean, charging them is very important. So there's a couple ways to do that. A really good way is when it's a full moon. Moon energy, the crystals love and respond incredibly. So depending on where you live, you can gather up your crystals and put them outside in the summertime, spring, fall, maybe not so much in the winter. I know people that do, but that's up to you. However you choose to do it. I prefer to put them on a windowsill when it's really cold and pull the blinds up and let that moonlight just come in and charge the crystals. You want to be sure you clean them all, and then you're going to charge them with moonlight. Also, new moon energy. Even though the moon isn't that visible to the naked eye, the crystals correspond or respond to it wonderfully. New moon energy is just as powerful as full moon. Let's see. Then you can also do this with your tumbled stones. Okay, you can do the same, plain salt, salt water, ocean water, a stream. If you're going to do it in a stream, don't just drop a fistful in. You may not be able to find them. Put them in some kind of like a mesh bag, okay? And you can just soak them. When you're out hiking and stuff like that, take your crystals with you. Give them a bath. They love the natural waters. Let's see. Now, there are some other ways to charge your crystals. One way is to use your sage. You can sage your crystals. This purifies and cleans. White sage also kills bacteria, so it's good to use when you're doing your home. Be sure you do your altar, sacred space, or wherever your crystals are. They love sage. So does Rodney. He has this balm of sage that he just creates in here, and we can't see for a day. Okay. So when you're doing sage, let's talk about that for a minute. You want to be sure that you have a really good shell, not one that's polished on both sides because it's too thin and you could get burned, and we certainly don't want to do that. They're more for decoration. You can see this one is rough on the back. That's what you want. You want it to have a nice lip so you can hold it. So as you go around doing your sage, you can hang on to it.
This actually helps dissipate the heat. Okay, and one of the reasons that you really don't want this side to be polished, it's for a showpiece. Okay, when you polish it, it gets too thin, and the chances are, especially if you're using the little heat biscuit to keep things going for you, it could possibly cause it to not just crack, but split and break into pieces, and then you could have something on your carpet that melts the carpet.
That
so
could
you
not
get
be
to
fun.
be careful. So you never want to sit one of these, even with all the backing on it, you never want to sit it on carpet or anything like that. You better to get a little stand for it. You know, we have those here at the shop. Many shops have them. Just have something. If it's hot, don't set it on anything, especially your skin. Don't set it down on anything that could burn or melt. Okay?
And then you also could use, if you have some type of a porcelain, marble type bowl that you could use for that as well. And then another way is sound. Crystals love sound. Sound is vibration. We'll keep it from overmodulating. Crystals respond really well to sound and vibration. And as you can see, a crystal bowl, you don't have to run out and buy some $2,000 bowl. You can find bowls kind of like this for $100 or less on Amazon. And if you're using it just to do your crystals, it works perfectly. Okay? And then,
actually $150 here.
well, we have these ones here anyway. Yes. So, and another method is drumming. Okay? Now, you can order a simple synthetic drum off Amazon for $70. You can make a skin drum. Now, when you're going to drum your crystals,
It's a hide.
hide.
Skins on
Why would I
humans.
want to hide? I'm doing a show.
Skins on humans.
Okay, I have skin, animals have hide. This is a hide drum. Or you can order a synthetic, not skin, not hide drum. So when you're wanting to use the sound of a drum on your crystals, you want to turn it so that this side goes toward it, because that's the sound is projecting outward from there. And you would just go over your crystals. You don't have to have any particular beat. And if you have bells, you can jingle along with it and create even more cool sound. So crystals love sound. Crystals are all about energy and vibration. Apparently I am, because I love wearing bells. So that's another great way to go ahead and work with your crystals for clearing as well. And they say on here, if you're using sage, about 30 to 60 seconds per stone. But if you're doing a grouping and you just kind of move over it slowly, you know, you want to be sure that you get a nice little layer of the sage over them. Okay, and sound healing is very
Actually, a layer
good.
of the smoke, not the sage, the smoke.
He likes a cloud. Okay.
Really?
Where are we at?
Okay.
We're good.
He's
Okay.
showing us the time.
Yes, I see it. Okay, breath work is also a good cleansing method. So you would hold your stone in whichever is your dominant hand. And now I didn't know about this one, so I'm going to read it. You hold your hand, your dominant hand. You focus on your intention for a moment. Oh, I did know about this. You inhale through the nose and you release through the mouth. And as you do it, you want to bring your stone in closer. So when you're doing this and you want to charge it with an intention, we don't want to hit it by the mic. You want to hold it to your heart. Yeah, I know, my heart's over here, but so's my mic. So I'm being very considerate and careful. I don't want to crystal smack the mic. So as you do that, the crystal and you are sharing or entraining energy. And as you entrain energy, you're putting your intention into the crystal. So you and the crystal become one. So as the crystal works with the universe, whatever it is you're manifesting is now going out to the universe and coming back into you. This is how we manifest. So it's always great to have a nice quartz crystal that you can program. You can actually, not program, but that you can charge with your intention.
So when you're charging with your intention, some people call it entrainment. So if I'm not going to entrain with this crystal because then it would be mine and it would work with somebody else.
Ooh, look at the phantoms.
I know, it's full of phantoms. This is a wonderful piece. You know, it's really fun. We go shopping and we buy lots of crystals, you know, trailers full of crystals, and we handpick a lot of them. And then we bring them back and we put them out here on display. And then, you don't see them for a while because we're busy doing other things, and we get to pick one up and you're going, wow, I know why we chose that one. Anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about. So crystals have energy, crystals have frequency. We have energy as a human being, and we have frequency, and we can choose to raise those. So as we work with our energy and our frequency to raise our energy and our frequency, grab a crystal, because they have energy and frequency. And when you entrain, it kind of looks like this. This is entrainment. This is a representation of entrainment. Okay? So as you entrain with it, you lift your energy with the energy of the crystal, and the frequency goes up as well. So it's a wonderful thing to experience.
Yes, and you can even do it with your tumbled stones. Now, if you have put together a medicine pouch, mojo bag, goodie bag, rock bag, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. The intention is what matters. You can put them in your pouch. I didn't bring a pouch, so we'll pretend this is a pouch. It's a pouch hand. And so after you've cleared all your crystals, cleaned them, then you have your pouch. You can do the same thing with your pouch. You can hold it to your heart, breathe in, breathe out, and it's 3 of those deep clearing breaths. Now, as you're breathing out, breathe that intention into your pouch, and you've created the intention for that pouch for everywhere you go. And a medicine pouch, mojo bag, magic pouch, unicorn bag. Ooh, I like that. I'm going to create some unicorn bags. Now, you can carry it with you wherever you go, and always be magical. You don't need a pouch to be magical. I don't. Anyway, so... Okay, another thing is activating your crystal. Now, sometimes after you've been working with a crystal for a while, and especially with pendants, you'll start wearing it and you'll put it on one day and think, oh, that feels so heavy. Same thing with crystals, it feels heavy. And sometimes quartz will become cloudy. And what it's doing is it's saying, I need a bath. It's time for me to be renewed and refreshed. So pendants, you can refresh them. You can, depending on how it's wrapped, some you can run underwater, some you may not want to. You can lay them on your selenite overnight or for 24 hours. There are those people that believe once like a quartz clouds up, you're supposed to bury it. You know, and that's okay. If that's what you choose to do, you're welcome to bury it. However, you can clear it, clean it, and use it again. They are reusable.
And you might find that as you clear it and clean it, it may lighten up. What we've seen quite often with smoky citrine and smoky quartz is that as it takes on a lot of energy, it will get real dark. And so when you clear it, sometimes it takes a while. I know I had an experience where I had a smoky quartz that took on a lot of energy and actually probably saved my life. And it took over a year to cleanse the energy out of it that it had taken out of my body for me. And it was a great experience. But like I said, it took a year for it to lighten back up again. So don't think that just because you set it on some selenite that it's going to clear the energy, you know, especially if it took on a lot of energy, it could take months. And that's why some people say go bury it in the earth for a while. Sometimes they can take on so much energy that they will there's people that will tell you bury it and leave it there and don't bother digging it up ever again. That doesn't happen very often, especially if you're good to your crystal and you work at cleaning it every once in a while and not letting it build up too much. Then it's a lot easier to cleanse it and transmute the energy out to the universe. The universe will turn it all positive again, and off we go.
And on occasion when you're working with a crystal, especially in the quartz family, your citrines, your amethyst, your quartz, you may notice in rose quartz, more fractures. That's okay. As you evolve, the crystal will evolve with you. It's perfectly okay. That's the character of the crystal and the character of you coming together. So it's a beautiful thing. And putting them in the earth can pull all that extra energy out. And sometimes it can take a combination of physically washing, clearing, and it's going to take some time. Sometimes these crystals get to rest because they have worked so hard. When they're walking with you through dark night of the soul or things like that, these crystals are working triple overtime. They get to have a little vacation when they're complete. So it's a beautiful thing. And then another thing about quartz is it's an amplifier. And a lot of people will put quartz in the center of their other crystals to pull the negativity out of them. Will it do that? Yes. But if you're going to do that, be kind to your quartz. Clear it and clean it right after you do that, because it's going to hold all of their energy. So, yeah, it's like sitting in a group of toxic friends, taking all their toxicity and walking around. So you really want to clear your quartz crystal. That's important. Okay, now, this little thing I printed out has some cool questions, like, we're getting down there on time. How often do I cleanse my stones? You know, the longer you use it without clearing it, the more energy it's going to collect. And that's going to depend on how much you use it. If it's just sitting in a cabinet, it's going to get really sad. So take it out and use it once in a while. Even if it's just to take it out and play with it and hold it and tell it how beautiful it is, and give it a little bath. Wash the dust off it. If you're using your crystal for a lot of serious energy work, clear it and clean it depending on how much work you're doing. Maybe daily, maybe weekly. You know, you get to be the judge of that. How much work are you doing?
Tune into the crystal. It will tell you. Mm-hmm. It will ask you, please, help me.
Of all the things that we've showed you, you get to pick and choose what works for you. If you're unclear how to work with that particular crystal to clear and clean it, you can find there's lots of good books, there's lots of information on Google, or give us a call. We can assist you. Okay, how do I know when a stone is cleansed? Okay, first off, it's the energy. It's going to feel kind of like kaboom, and it's just going to be very happy, and it'll sparkle. Then you know. So energetically, you're going to feel it, and you're really going to see the sparkle and twinkle in the stone itself. What should I do with my stones after they've been cleansed? Well, then you want to find the perfect places in your home. Sometimes they can just continue to do their work quietly. They can assist the other crystals that you're working with. So you want to place them in places where they're going to be able to continue working.
We literally have crystals in every room in the house.
Including the bathrooms.
Including the 3 bathrooms, and they have at least a point and a cluster in each one of them. Now, our bedroom is much different. We have them everywhere in our bedroom.
Shh, don't even go there. Moving will be fun when we do that. Okay, so the bottom line is, and I like how they put this, when we care for our crystals, we're caring for ourselves. These are part of us. They're a reflection of us. We get to care for them. We're allowing energy that's inharmonious with our lives and intentions to live in a peaceful and healing manner. Taking these small measures allow us to be more mindful in our interactions with the stones, with ourselves, and with others. The whole reason that we're doing the work with the crystals is to raise our vibration, to be loving, to be non-judgmental, and to really step into the divine, magnificent beings that we truly are. So,
as we do that, we lift the energy of the planet. It may seem that we're just one person. As each person works on themselves, it ripples out. And the more of us that get together, this ripple gets larger and larger and larger. It's kind of like this. Throw a pebble in a pond and watch the ripple. Throw a rock in the pond and watch the ripple. Throw a boulder in a lake and watch what happens. The ripples get much bigger. So anyway, so we get to do this just for those of you that don't quite get it. Here we are, Treasures and Creations. Our address is 3419 South State Street here in, it's actually South Salt Lake, but everybody calls it Salt Lake City, okay? Because we're not in the city of Salt Lake. We're
another
in South
technicality.
Salt Lake. Anyway, our number to call is 801-679-1717. And we just want you all to have a very great holiday season. I'm going to say Merry Christmas. I know some of you say other things. That's just what I was brought up with. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you that prefer happy holidays. We're here. Call us. We ship around the world. We'd love to see you come and visit. Fly in and tell us where you flew in from.
Or ride your unicorn, however it works for you. And I'd like to wish you all a very magical, prosperous, and healthy new year.
Absolutely.
Keep working with those crystals. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.